better. You guys can interact, and I'm getting some good feedback here. So this is better than the doc update, but I'll still put together a short video for the general masses. You know what I mean? So I'll put that one together. I do have it. I shot it while I was on the lake today. So my history with the lake, it's my favorite place on earth. You know, I grew up here. I'm local. I tried to leave, but, you know, I always keep coming back. You know, I took a job that took me down to Delaware, took me down to Harrisburg, but, you know, over the years, I just kept coming back, man. I can't leave this place. If you guys can't tell, I play guitar, right? And I just started writing this tune, and it's actually about Raystown. I've never written a song about Raystown, and I just had some inspiration, so I started penning it out. But one of the things it says in there is, you know, if the lake draws down and the fish don't bite, if Party Cove stops rocking all night, well, it says I'll only have one place to go. So spread my ashes thin out there. It's talking about that's my history with the lake. It's going to be an everlasting history. When I go, I want to be cremated and spread at Raystown Lake. Nowhere else. It's the happiest I've ever been has been on that lake. So when I was real young, I started fishing the banks, started at the power plant like so many do. You probably wouldn't be familiar with the power plant if you're not familiar, but that's way upstream. I just used to get down and just catch for bass and catfish. And then I got a John boat and started really exploring the lake. So I'd say I started fishing that lake pretty solid whenever I was about 11 years old. Didn't even have a bicycle. I used to walk it. My dad was dating a gal that lived in Saxton there. I used to take my tackle box and my two fishing rods. So glad to have two fishing rods. That was my gig, man. I was set up, guys. I had my live bait rod that I just cast out with some crayfish or, you know, whatever I caught in the stream. You know, I used to go over with a net and just, you know, do a kick net. You guys do the kick net thing at all? Man, I used to do the kick net all the time. I thought I found a gold mine when I figured out how to do a kick net. You know, I was like, oh, I'll be able to fish it forever, you know. So I'd kick whatever I got, and I'd take it down, and I would live bait it with one rod, and I'd sit there, and I would just cast and crank. I did some great fishing back then. Probably not. I have no idea what kind of fishing I was doing, but I was having a blast. I was learning, and I was happy to be there. I kind of like a lot of turmoil in my young life. You guys can imagine. Maybe some of you guys can relate to that. So the fishing is just where I went. We got 11 years old. And this is my first year doing the charter. And because of the support of the community, because Raystown Lake has an incredible community, my charter is doing much better than most businesses their first year. So I'm really blessed. I feel it. So thank you. Raystown community, thank you. Thank you. I know where this is coming from, and it's not, I mean, we'll give credit to God first, but you have your part in it too. So thank you so much. You're welcome, Wyatt. I'll keep the tips coming. There's an old culture that's tight-lipped. They believe that you should have to beat your head against a wall for 40 years to learn how to fish. And usually those come from the same voices who would be upset that the younger generation isn't learning how to fish. I'm not part of that camp. I take kids fishing. I'm a dad. I'm a teacher. I know that I have the heart of a teacher. I love to share. I love to see people growing. I love to see people come to those aha moments, you know. And how cool is it whenever you take a novice, put a rod in their hand, they have no idea what they're doing, and then they're loaded up on a fish, and they're pulling in something they got to hold with two hands. Oh, so good. So more to come. Yeah, the Potomac's fantastic. I understand the muskie and the Potomac is a real thing, right? Like muskie down along